Hello, and welcome to USBC's In the Spotlight, where we host a 15-minute conversation with industry experts. On behalf of our president, Ron Busby, our board, chambers, and staff, thank you for attending. I am Lisa Carter, program coordinator of the Community Navigator Pilot Program through the U.S. Black Chambers, fondly known as the National Voice of Black Businesses. Today we have Mr. James Jackson III, Supplier Diversity Program Manager at Zions Bancorporation. Mr. Jackson's expertise has graced several areas of the financial industry for 20 years strong. Mr. Jackson serves on several boards of directors and is the founder of various Utah-based initiatives, including Utah Black Chamber, the Black Success Center, Living Color Utah, and the Utah Diversity Career Fair. He's written articles for Utah Business Magazine on diversity and leadership, authored the book Leading Through the Pandemic, Unconventional Ways, Wisdom from Heartfelt Leaders, and facilitated the Utah Black Chamber's book publication, Black Utah, Stories from a Thriving Community. Committed to the social and economic growth of the Black and diverse community, Jackson hopes to enlist Utah as a more attractive destination for people of color. Welcome to the discussion, Mr. Jackson. I'm honored to sit with you today and ecstatic to learn what inspired your journey into supplier diversity and corporate advocacy for people of color.
Thank you, Lisa, for having me. Great to be here.
Absolutely. So to start off, what would you say was a major influence and inspiration to your journey into supplier diversity and as a corporate advocate?
Short answer to that question, getting laid off. I was actually in transition within Zions. They went through a reduction in staff. And so that set me on a path to look for other opportunities. And this happenstancely, some person in our supply chain team reached out to me and asked, hey, would you be interested in this position opening up? Zions Bancorporation at the time didn't have a supplier diversity program, and they're looking for someone to build it. And I've heard of supplier diversity before attending another event through another company. And so I was intrigued by the idea of me building this program. And the more I dove into the job description, the more I learned about the team, just the more excited I got because, I spent over a decade, wearing different hats from Black Chamber to Zions Bank, from Black Chamber to Zions Bank. And now I feel like I've been able to integrate both those organizations within in my work within the community overall, just really adding this arrow in my quiver, so to speak, of not only learning about supplier diversity, rolling out the program, but where Zions Bank is in Utah as one of the premier community banks here, we can potentially look at growing the visibility of supplier diversity overall here in Utah, as well as getting more Black businesses certified and recognizing the importance of becoming a certified minority-owned entity. And so that's just what really inspired me and just really kind of pushed the momentum forward about getting businesses certified, becoming more aware of the supplier diversity program, not only within Zions Bancorporation, but just in the private sector overall, about so many opportunities are there for them. And so that's what's really driven me, is just the opportunity for us to uplift the Black economics here in Utah.
Awesome. And as someone who serves in those many capacities, as you stated, what does work-life balance look like for you? And how do you refuel to continue your relentless pursuit of equality and diversity?
It's I would say I have an easy answer to that, but it's very challenging. The pandemic has taught us how to challenge a work-life balance when we got pushed to working remotely. But working the Black Chamber, of course, was a remote working experience for me. And then as Zions Bancorporation moved to remote, so the whole supply chain team is now fully remote. So now the Black Chamber has grown so much, we have our own office. So we've grown into our own office space. And basically, I just moved office of what I do at the bank to our chamber office as well. And so that's one way I've been able to figure out, is kind of blending those together, working in the community, working with the bank, and be sure, I use the supplier diversity program within Zions Bancorporation, like I mentioned, as just another quiver and, arrow in our quiver to really build out the programming opportunities for Black and minority-owned businesses. Additionally, I make sure, I sit on several different boards, but they're all focused on the one thing, and that's economic development, diversity, equity, inclusion. And so that makes it simple enough for me that, I don't have to switch modes or anything. I'm able to say the same thing, preach the same gospel at every opportunity that I have, with every board, with every committee that I attend or sit on. And then I'd be sure that, I'm able to shut it off by 6 p.m. Being able to blend that in, put in a 10-hour day from 8 to 6, but then afterwards being able to wind down. And as I'm built, I'm almost forced to wind down, because after that time, I really don't have the brain capacity or energy to really go anymore anyway. So that's what helps in that work-life balance, is being able to just get in the routine, right? To be able to shut it off in the evening times. You can spend time with family, because it's the family that really refuels you, right? They give you that purpose of why you do what you do, to push forward, and lean on them for support, and honestly kind of give you that excitement and vigor to kind of go after it the next day.
Through your organizations, the nonprofits, on organizational development, what perspectives could viewers hope to gain from those sessions?
What we do in Utah is a little unique, because yes, we are a small population here. But we're also a fast growing population. But one of the strengths that Utah has is the connection ability. You come here, it's a small community, even though it's in a big state, but our population is only 3 million people, within the majority of those being within the main area, within the 4 counties surrounding the capital. And so it could be two degrees of separation here. And what's great about that is that when you get here, it only takes one connection to help you get integrated into the Black community, or any community that you're looking to engage more in, participate in. And we just, we use that to our advantage to develop our network, develop our resources, our programming. And so we use that connection to develop strong partnerships. There was that quote, if you want to go fast, do it alone, but if you want to go far, do it together. And that's what we do here within the Black community. We're constantly partnering not only with each other, but with non-Black organizations, white organizations, to really push the agenda forward. So there are so many opportunities for us here where we don't have to do it by ourselves. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We basically are able to identify programs and organizations and say, you know what, you have what we're looking for. How about we work together? Because as you're looking to bring that into the diverse community, allow us to be that channel for you, right? And then vice versa. And so that's what's been the strength for us, and that's how the Black Chamber and the Black community has been growing so fast here.
Absolutely. And then lastly, if you could talk about your work with the Utah Black Chamber, besides the SBA's Community Navigator program, what programs or initiatives could we expect to see implemented in the near future to support those Black firms?
I thought I was going to be able to answer this question, but we moved so fast. I was the founder of the Black Chamber in September 9th, 2009, and was running it for about 12 years. But as it's grew, we needed a full-time president and CEO. So we hired Dr. Sydney Lloyd Shorter. She joined us from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And she was running before she hit the ground when she arrived here in Salt Lake City. And she's been doing a phenomenal job growing the Black Chamber, really taking the vision that I have set, but lacked the capacity, right? And so she's been able to not only take that vision and run forward, but instill a lot of her principles, her vision, and thoughts and perspectives into it, and wove that into there as well. And it's really magnified what we're able to do here. So what you'll be able to see is a lot more programming that we've been doing, reaching out to our Black businesses. You'll see a lot stronger partnerships together with other big corporations. We're able to do our own grants within the Black Chamber as well, the small little micro grants that we can give out to Black business to kind of stimulate that growth. Additionally, the Black Chamber has a nonprofit arm, and that's what I'm running right now, which is the Black Success Center, the UAACC Charitable Foundation. provides a lot of the technical assistance. So we'll be working side by side, and you'll start seeing a lot more grants rolling out. We're looking to start a micro loan fund within our organization here soon, and there's a lot more one-to-one mentoring for our Black businesses. So we're looking to start more businesses, grow more businesses, as well as elevate the Black professionals here. Really take programming and mentorship from high school to C-suite. And so to really strengthen that pipeline of Black talent here in Utah. So you'll see a lot more programming with that as well.
Awesome. And then if we can, would you share something that you're currently reading or listening to that may inspire or, shift the mindsets?
The TED Business is what I've been listening to a lot lately. Just listening to a lot of those TED Talks, but more business related. I can never get away from Super Soul Sunday with Oprah Winfrey, and all the awesome things that she talks about there. Mm-hmm. Those are the couple of podcasts I go back and forth to. I'm a certified coach, speaker, and trainer with the John Maxwell team. So the John Maxwell Leadership Podcast, I'm always listening to. I have a big passion to grow leaders. So I'm always looking for opportunities to learn and how I can grow leaders within our community. So that's a lot I've been listening to. I'm starting to read the book called Status Anxiety. The author just leaves me, but I've always grown up with this imposter syndrome of, taking something that almost unrecognizable here in Utah and grow it to the capacity it is now, and really trying to help myself kind of grow and embrace that role of the influence that I've been able to achieve here. And of course, I can't not go with the plug of Black Utah here. You see right behind me, Stories from Our Thriving Community. You can find that right on Amazon. I interviewed 33 individuals to kind of share the Black experience here in Utah. We wanted to take away from the perspective and what the media pulls out. Like when you go into a predominantly white state, what's it like living Black? Well, if you just think about that alone, it doesn't sound like a good idea to move to a place that's predominantly white. But what we share within the 33 individuals is how they're the pathway leaders. They're the ones who are growing and making change here, who've been here since the mid 1900s, now rising to, as we hear in the early 2000s, interviewing people from 27 to 87, sharing all different backgrounds and experiences of how they've elevated Utah and make it a place that's more welcoming for us.
Absolutely. A lot of great gems. So thank you again, Mr. Jackson, for sharing your expertise and advocating for Black businesses, and to you, our viewers, for tuning in. Be sure to follow us on social media at usblackchambers.org. And if today's session activated additional questions and interests, contact us at programs@usblackchambers.org. Also, be sure to join us August 4th at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time for a deeper discussion on supplier diversity. This session features industry experts like Mr. Jackson, who will delve into supplier diversity programs, their benefits, and ways to cultivate and nurture relationships with the private and public sector officers. Register today at usblackchambers.org/webinars. And then lastly, USBC offers a business directory and the only Black certification program with access to private and public procurement opportunities, highlights, and other benefits. Visit byblack.us to certify your business today at usblackchambers.org/certifications.